Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgy.
And Paz.
And this is the roundup of 2019.
2019,
Because, let's face it, you probably haven't had enough top 10 programmes on TV or top 10, everything, basically, of 2019.
Hi, pussycat.
So you can't possibly have a channel like this without a top something. Ours won't be a top 10 because... Oh, hello. This is... And this is Brenda, who wants to be internet famous. So if you could make that happen, that would be good. Hello, Brendy.
It's probably can offer more heavy metal insight than either of us two.
Yes. What did you think of the metal year? That right.
She thought it was perfect. you could add a tumbleweed.
That's going to have everyone off Vikendi trying to kill us now. Even more so. Anyway, yes, we've done nothing except just witter. This is let's face it, it's New Year's Day. You haven't got anything else to do. So we thought we'd go through Paz has put a lot more work into this than I have. So I've kind of gone through the year, and it's just stuff that we've had on the channel. So if it wasn't on the channel, it's not on my list. So I've just kind of gone through looking at some highlights from the year, whereas you've gone a bit more in depth, haven't you? So what we'll do is we'll get down to like a top 10 countdown without there being a countdown, and I'll put some extra effort in for that and put album covers on the screen and stuff like that so you remember who it is we're talking about. But until then, let's get through the, what should we call it? Honourable mentions?
Honourable mentions, yeah. I have some
thing is, of course, I don't know what's on your list and you don't know what's on mine, so your honourable mention might be my highlight.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go, that's better.
It's pretty hard doing technology in a
I've
snowy
got it
field.
tilted so it doesn't...
Would you like something better than that to stand on?
That'll be right.
Okay.
Right.
Do you think we should do the Baby Metal album at some point?
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
We can do. All right, worthy mentions. Majestica, Above the Sky. Because that was
Eagle Fly Free.
Fly Free. It was so derivative, but so well done at the same time. Nearly fell.
His phone nearly fell on the floor then. I'm not editing any of this out. We're just gonna ramble today. Just be warned, it's just rambling. This could be 11 hours long.
Take the dog out later, so that will be rambling.
See, and the jokes aren't going to get better in 2020, as you can see.
It was such a Halloween rip-off, but done so well. The guy's got a great voice. The musicianship was just it was perfection. I've heard a couple of others from Majestica album, and it's just more of the same, and I love it. But it's just I couldn't put it into top 10 because it is
too derivative.
Yeah. But what a blast to listen to.
Wasn't the drummer from Majestica in Halloween?
I don't know. Can't remember. The singer is the guy from Sabaton.
Yeah, I think the drummer was from Halloween.
Yeah.
Or an ex-drummer from Halloween. Okay.
I don't know if you remember these, Crafting the Conspiracy with a song called Dimension Door. I really like this one. It's an Indonesian band chucking out some
Let me guess.
heavy...
Extremely angry death metal.
It was more bordering on thrash than thrash than death, but I just love the energy. The four guys just sort of stood outside recording the video, and I think seemed to be in the middle of a building site type thing. You'll recognise as soon as you see it.
I remember it.
Yeah, I thought that was
That's
very
not
good.
the one where they were all being killed, and then they all escape.
Am I getting myself mixed up? No, that was beside that.
Right.
That was very good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hang on. I'll better make a note because I can't remember that one. I
Besides,
guess people think that we remember all of these, but there's so many that sometimes you can just forget one. Crafting the Conspiracy.
Yeah, I just love the energy in that one.
Okay. Don't wait for me.
Another honourable mention was Disquiet, with the Condemnation, and I bought the album off it. It was basically Testament.
Yes, I remember that.
And so it sort of contradicts what I said about Majestica. Majestica being too derivative of Halloween, whereas Disquiet is very derivative of Testament. But it didn't feel like Disquiet were blatantly copying melodies. It felt just had that spirit of old 80s thrash,
right.
Testament in particular, I thought. And the album's fairly solid as well. Yeah, highly recommend it.
Where were they from?
They were Dutch, I think.
Right. Oh, okay.
I think so. Frozen Crown as well. I know we gave it a bit of a... We didn't give it a grilling, but we didn't think it was as good as the previous album. Mainly production was seemed to be very compressed. But I've since overcome that, and I think it's very good.
Yeah, on that video I said the drum sound drove me crazy.
Yeah.
And I said it was like some kind of demented metronome. It was I got a comment saying, "Are you complaining because the drummer is playing in time?" And it's like, no, did you not listen to what I said? Clearly not. No, you just...
No, it was the actual production.
You don't like the thing I like, therefore you are an idiot. You know.
But it's the actual... That song and the album as well has grown on me since I've given it subsequent listens.
They're a good band and they know what they're doing. There was just something about the production on that one that I had to mention because that's what we're here for.
I still don't think it's as strong as their debut album, but I thought it was worth bringing it up. So it's got better in my opinion on subsequent listens, and that's one of the problems with doing this sort of channel. Is you hear things first. You got one chance to listen to it, and that's your initial reaction, or initial opinion.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes your opinion is going to change, isn't it? The more you listen to something. I
like to think that most of the time we can hear what we're listening to, if you see what I mean. But yeah, every now and again something just grows on you, like that last video we did just before. Just at the end of 2019 from
Church of the Cosmic Skull.
It will grow on you.
It will, like a fungus does.
Anyway, we're only in the honourable mentions, so this might be a two-parter at this rate, I can say.
This didn't make my top 10, it's a shame, but One Arm Away, doing nothing.
That was so good.
We were gushing so much after that one.
Can I just say that one is in my highlights of the year, okay. One Arm Away. Brazilian band, go and check out One Arm Away. Obviously check out my video of it. No, just go and find it. I can't remember the name of the song, but look at One Arm Away. It was just so...
We can discuss it later.
It was just so good.
Yeah. This one nearly did make it in. I was struggling between one band and another, but the Paralydium Project as well. Mm-hmm. That was great. Some great prog rock.
We really like that.
Prog metal there. Love that.
Yep.
This next one, it didn't make my top 10 because as good as the song was, and I bought the EP that it was from, the EP just did not live up to this song, which is The Living Dead by Idane, not Idane.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Edane.
Edane.
Sorry, Indonesia.
Yeah. What a great song.
Idane. Let's stick with that and really upset everyone.
That was a great song. A great vocal and a great groove to it, and the rest of the EP.
The Living Dead.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Other honourable mentions.
Wow. How many honourable mentions have we got?
I've got 3 more. In Morning, Black
we haven't even got to the list of the stuff we liked.
In Morning, with their song Black Storm. And it's only on my honourable mentions because I'm sure I'd like this more. I just not got around to getting an album and listening to it even more. So it could be on my honourable mention in my top 10 next year.
Right.
If that will help, will count. Controversial one is Noveria. Broken Opinion did not make my top 10, but made an honourable mention. It's thoroughly enjoyable.
Well, we'll come back to that.
Bit of metal.
We'll come back to you, Noveria.
And most controversial one that didn't make it in my top 10 was Starlight by Baby Metal, which is what a great song that is, but I preferred 10 others above it.
Okay then.
And it's odd. I think I chose my top 10 just on how I felt after listening to it, and some things I thought that's quite good, but something stirs something inside you, doesn't it? You think, well, yeah, that made an impression. Why did it make an impression? You have to start thinking. You can obviously tell I put a lot more work into this than Hedgy, because I had to go back and think, well, why did I listen to this? Because obviously this Baby Metal song is so well produced, so well put together, so well performed, but I'm putting this unsigned band above them. Why am I doing that? And it's that old X factor, that initial feeling when you listen to something.
Yeah. There's also sometimes there's a mood thing as well. Right? What are you in a death metal mood? Are you in a power metal mood? Are you in a that's another problem with doing a channel like this. Is that sometimes you're just mentally geared for a certain kind of music, I suppose, and you're like more. You start leaning one way or you start leaning another way, and then another time you would have liked a song more or less than you do. But we've got to do it in the moment, haven't we? How does it affect us right now in the moment? And then if you go back and say, right, which ones made us go, oh my good grief, then you know you have to go with how you felt, I suppose.
And a lot of the time we don't know what we're getting. We just go recommendations from
absolutely.
We get sent in.
I don't know whether people believe us that we don't watch these things, but we don't.
and sometimes you're on your fifth death metal band and think, oh, I just want something different. Then you get something that sounds exactly like the other four you just listened to, and you think, and you're perhaps not going to listen to it with fresh ears. It's a bit unfair, but you try your best.
And that's another thing I've noticed. We keep looking down because there's a cat literally just butting its head into our legs. That's one thing I've noticed doing this, is that you do tend to go through phases where you feel like it's all been death metal lately, or it's and then there's been no death metal lately, and I get comments from people saying you're not doing a death metal for ages, and it's like, well, it's because no one's recommended any, or I haven't stumbled across any, or whatever. It's just the way it is, But yeah, so that's your honourable mentions.
Yes.
Do you want to do your disappointments, or should we do those at the end?
Let's do them at the end.
Okay.
Let's do it at the end.
Yeah, we'll bring everyone down. We'll bring everyone down at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there have been a couple of disappointments, things that we thought were going to be better than they turned out to be. Okay then. So I haven't got. These aren't necessarily in order until I get to like my top. I don't know. You'll know. Because I'll suddenly go into gush mode.
Mine. I tried to put mine in order. It's not. It might change.
Whatever
mood I'm in, it might change. But mine are kind of in order.
I've got more than 10, but it doesn't really matter because we're going to skip through them. I'm going to try and keep it short. He says the intro is longer than this.
Have you got more than 10, Johnny?
But bear in mind that sometimes people watch these videos who haven't been here all year. So this is a kind of go back and, if we're saying this were highlights of the year, you can go back and go, oh, I've never heard of that. I'll go back and have a look. So it's worth mentioning them, even though I'm just kind of going to charge through them. If anything, they're probably in chronological order because I went through my YouTube channel starting at the 1st of January and kind of worked my way up. So they're probably chronological. But Skyforger from that country.
Is this your number 11 then?
Latvia. From Latvia. No. This is from January. That's why I'm saying it first.
Okay.
So they're not particularly in order. But Skyforger, it was just such a great song. It was just, it was one of those unexpected thing, and they had that guy with them doing a guitar solo on a hill, which is what do you need. These are just highlights, so I'm not necessarily going to gush about it. I didn't even necessarily go out and buy the album or whatever. They're just things like that. When I went through, I went, "Ooh, that was good," and "No, that was good," kind of thing. Until I get down to a few, and it'll be obvious. So yeah, Skyforger, I really like that. Go and check that one out if you haven't heard of them.
Well, I'll do my top 10 then. I'll start with number 10.
Okay, I'll just interject.
Yeah. Number 10, Dialith.
Yes, they're on mine. So we killed two with one.
The sound of your voice.
Two birds with half a brick.
And the reason why I put this in my top 10, not only did I buy the album as well, and the album is fairly solid. There's also a really long song at the end, about 17 minutes. It's worth checking out if you like that prog stuff. But I remember we listened to a couple of the symphonic...
This is what I was going to say.
Symphonic
Damn,
bands,
we're stealing all of my lines.
Visions from Atlantis in particular. And there's another one, maybe two.
They were
they were all right.
At 6, 7 out of 10 kind of category.
And then Dialith came on, and it was just what like a breath of fresh air in that genre.
Don't mind us, Cat. We're not busy. They were full of life. It was full of energy. You couldn't help but like it. If you like anything powery metal, you just went, oh, this has got that. I need something other than it. I can't keep saying X Factor because X Factor makes me want to throw up.
Dialith are, in my opinion, driven by the guitars.
Right.
And not by the tropes of symphonic metal, which Visions of Atlantis are. And because they're driven by the guitars, you've got more...
It's covered in cat fur, it's all right. Don't worry about
it. There are more guitar riffs and not just chords. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yep.
And it spoke to the Epica fan in me. And I think I said that on the video. Right. It fills that Epica void when you haven't got an Epica album to get your teeth into, because the guitars are nicely up in the mix. The symphonic elements are there to add a lot without taking away from everything else, and it does so much. Yeah, there's so much life in it, and the rest of the album is similar as well in energy.
Yeah, I haven't got the album.
Some great ideas.
Maybe I should go and find it. But yeah, Dialith, that was on my list as well for the same reason. Basically, it's just just so good.
Yeah. Like when you get 3 albums and 2 first, going, oh, all right, and then this one just has so much life. It just did set us back on our heels a little bit. I thought, yeah. It
was one of those that when it finished, it was like.
And I think you said this is how you're supposed to do it.
This is how you should do it.
But it did come across as symphonic metal rather than symphonic heavy rock, which I would put in Within Temptations Unite, where she's in, which don't really have as much going on in the guitars. So even though they probably come up under the same umbrella, there's arguably a little bit more metal in Dialith and bands like Epica.
Right then. Let's move on.
Okay.
Jack the Joker.
Okay.
Do you remember it?
I will say a little bit more about that later on, unless you want to have a discussion about it now, because that's on my list.
Okay, we'll wait. We can wait. I'll just move on because I've got several.
Okay.
Flesh God Apocalypse's Sugar song. It was their new album was coming out, because this doesn't have to be about people that no one's heard of. It's just highlights of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Sugar for me, and Velino, their album, is just fantastic. And I saw Sugar, and it was one of those, oh, fantastic, they've done it again. Because The Violation by Flesh God Apocalypse had an effect on me, I think. It was just like, it sort of moved me into another category of metal kind of thing. And Sugar was the same thing, I think, for me. I mean, I know things affect people differently, but I was just like, oh, this is just great. This is just... And their music's so clever. There's so much stuff going on. The way they get the piano and the opera into what is super fast death metal.
That takes creative talent.
It's talent, yes. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Definitely a highlight for me was Flesh God Apocalypse this year. But Sugar, if you've got to name a song. And I haven't been naming songs, I've just been naming things. Appearance of Nothing.
Oh yeah, we saw them, didn't we?
We saw them live, yeah, and then after that we went and checked them out, and they were just good.
Yeah,
It's
good
just
band,
a highlight, you know. They were really nice people too when we met them.
Yeah.
So Appearance of Nothing. So I'm just saying these so that people can go and if they didn't see them the first time around, go and check them out for yourself, obviously.
My number 9, and this is just a purely good time. We had a great time watching it. I've not bought their album.
Was it Nana War of Steel?
No, it was Adrenaline Marush. I don't know. Selling guy. Where they get beat up at the end.
Yes.
What a great good time that is.
The guy from The Raid.
Yes.
The actor from The Raid, isn't it?
It's a great song, full of lots of energy, and there's the middle breakdown where he goes into the tom, you know, that just perfect. Loved it. What a great time. What a great,
really good Indonesian thrash band, basically.
Yeah, I must invest.
We liked the one before that though. It's where they were on the bus. We were driving around on a bus.
Yeah, that was
I can't
great.
remember the name of that song, but
yes, but that one with having the party and you know,
because it was funny as well.
A few times, yeah.
You know, it's like comedy and
because we saw it. The video was so good. It sort of detracted from the song a little bit. So at the time I was in the space station, so I went back to Earth. Watched my thing. You know, there's actually quite a good song here as well with a great middle bit.
Yes, we like Serengai.
Yeah.
Definitely. Whispered.
Oh yes.
Samurai metal from Finland. I think.
What a blast that was.
What a blast that song was, and I think I definitely need to do another Whispered song. But yeah, Whispered. Go and check out the Whispered song that's on the channel. I'm not sure when it was. It's in the middle of my list, so it's probably around July.
it was chaos, wasn't it? That song. It reminded me a little bit of the impact that when you first listened to City by Strapping Young Lad. Like a nuclear explosion going off in your speakers.
Yeah. He had that black metal voice as well, but it just all fit together. It was it was just a really nice surprise. I think. I think that's what it is. Yeah. As probably a lot of these are, like Dialith or One Arm Away. You know, you kind of get this. Ooh, didn't expect that sort of thing.
Well,
go on, you go.
My number 8.
I'm getting to the ones where I'm going to start gushing.
My number 8 was a song that I really liked, but we sort of gave it not a lukewarm response, but it could have been better. But I liked it enough to go and check it out. I thought, actually, I really like this, and then bought the album. And that is Devil Within, their song Flames to the End.
I don't remember it.
It was really fast, technical, melodic death metal.
I'm going to have to write that down then.
And the rest of the album is almost exactly the same. If you didn't have a long enough gap between the songs, you wouldn't know when one ended and one started. But the delivery of it is just sublime. In the solos are amazing. Everything is so precise and but chaotic, but listenable too as well.
The Japanese band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it. Yes, sorry. I know it is. And it was one that I think I said had been constructed. The song had been constructed almost in pieces. It felt like to me, so it felt a bit artificial. I'm going to sneeze. It was really well done. How about you? Oh, that's straight into my microphone. Sorry about that. Thinking I'll sneeze to one side, straight into my microphone. Yeah. It was really well done, but felt a little artificial, a bit like the way Arch Enemy doesn't quite sound right. It sounds a bit constructed. I'm going to sneeze again. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I didn't bother listening to anymore.
All right, so I went back and I've listened to the album several times, and it does all sound the same. But what a ride it is!
I've just let the cat out of a tree. There's no door there. Yeah. I've literally let the cat out of the field.
So yeah, that was my number 8. Yeah,
I sort of remember. I remember it.
That was another one that.
But I didn't follow up on it.
That got better, like the Frozen Crown one. It got better when I gave it more than just the first listen.
Right. Okay. I did that. Discarnate, which is a very recent one. The English guys.
Those three of them. Yeah.
In a circle.
Yeah.
I just really like that.
It was good.
Just so authentic in its sound. Like we're just 3 guys just chucking out some metal with no pretensions.
It was a great production job on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. And they filmed a couple of videos in that while they were there that day. Because if you watch, there's a couple other videos done in exactly the same way. And I mean, I didn't get all gushy about it, but it was certainly like one of those nice highlights you thought, oh yeah, that's proper. you know, that's the real thing, that one. So yeah, Discarnate. That was literally only a couple of weeks, 4 weeks ago or whatever.
It's interesting that sometimes when you boil down a band to the basics, it is just some people stood in a circle just playing some music, and you don't always need the theatrics and stuff like that.
I think you complicate your lives by adding all the theatrics and stuff, and if you do it properly, you come across like a
bit of a knob.
Possibly, yes. A bit of a knob. And Bang Bang up to date, and I've got some earlier ones, but they're like mine. The ones I can gush about a bit more was the Love Bites one. We did literally.
Yes, that's also on my list.
Was just so good.
Yeah.
So good. And I'm sure I've skipped over. There are others on here, but I mean, I'm sure we're going to skip over ones that people like. But that's just the nature of the thing. Can't list everything. But the Love Bites one. It was just so well done. It was just so full of energy and.
It not only was it for me, but was it better than the last video we did, which was 12 months ago. It was significantly better.
Yes.
In every department of performance, songwriting, sound, mix, production. It was. When we finished watching it, I just thought that's just world class. That's just as good as you're going to get, power metal wise. Oh, it's up there with the Gallinarius and the Halloween and it's called, because it's on my list too as well. When Destinies Align.
When Destinies Align. So yeah, I mean, to say it's up there with Gallinarius, you're saying something there.
Yeah, and your Halloweens and your top tier power metal. I thought it was tremendous.
It was spot on. Yeah. It was so well done.
My number 7 is Skyforger.
Oh,
told you to get to it.
As I mentioned earlier.
I bought the album off that song because that song was such a good time. The album has its moments, and this song and the very last song on the album are brilliant. But there was something about it. It was catchy, but folky death at the same time. It takes talent to come up with,
They had a bit of a primordial feel to them. I think I said so at the time, but you're not a primordial guy, so you probably won't be able to hear that. But it was really good. It was really good. Yeah. But it made both of our lists. And believe me, we did these very, very independently. Which is why he's done a lot more work than I.
I'll go down straight to my number 6 then.
Yeah, because I've nearly run out. I'm down to my last couple.
Last Man Standing by Overkill. Overkill been part of my life for years, and I thought I hate the phrase "return to form." I don't know why I mentioned it really, because Overkill have been on a certain excellent level for how many years?
Forever.
Since Ironbound, I think they've not taken a misstep since then. That's about 5 albums, and this was just, I think, again, I had to keep coming up with these thrash anthems. It was brilliant, and the album's good too.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't if you don't really know how Overkill, you listen to stuff like this. If you like it, you've got so much to go at. There's so much for you in their back catalogue to work your way through with Overkill. I mean, you're still citing 1989's The Years of Decay to this day for and Horoscope, the album that came after it. That's how good they are. Think of all of the production changes and all of the bands you've heard since then, and you're still saying, "Oh, that is such a good album," from 1989, 1990, whatever. Yeah. So, okay, Novaria, which you had in your honourable mentions.
My honourable mentions, yes. Yeah.
I bought the album, Novaria's album.
It had a bigger impact than you than it did me. Yeah.
And the album is really, really good. It's called Equilibrium. And I tell you, they all play like demons. And that singer has got such an amazing metal voice. He's got a voice that your average X Factor contestant would chew their arm off for. I mean, he's just got this fantastic melodic voice. I mean, if you don't like your Cookie Monster, the Novaria album, Equilibrium, is probably the album for you. It's metal enough to be a proper metal album, but there's no Cookie Monster vocals on it. It's not got a bad song on it. It's just really, really good. So it was one of those, wow, I'm so super impressed with this kind of thing. I kept playing it in my car. Like, I drive quite a lot to get to work and back, and so I'm in the car for quite a long time. I had it on repeat for a couple of days, just like, so yeah, Novaria.
Would you say that was your album of the year?
No,
okay.
But it's very, very close. I mean, it's hard to say because the other one that is my album of the year is a different animal, so it's not fair it's hard to do a direct comparison,
I'd say my album of the year isn't actually in the bands on this list.
Okay, well, you can still roll it out.
No,
sure. People might be interested.
Do it later. My number 5, it's not a cheat really, but we did them twice. One just before the end of last year, and another one.
So we'll ignore that.
Another couple of months ago, and that's both the Is a Grim songs.
Oh yeah. Who just split up?
Have they really?
They split up last month.
What a shame. But I've still not got their back catalogue yet. I've got
ruined it for you.
I've got one of their albums, and it was brilliant. So I just need to get some more. But I thought they were great. Some great ideas there. And when I listen to it, it takes me back to when I first start getting into Arch Enemy, and Arch Enemy were a different beast. That sort of
raw.
late John Lever, early Angela Gosso stuff, and I just fills that void that I didn't know needed filling. But Is a Grin came along and
filled your void.
filled my void. Yeah, what a great band they were, and I didn't know this. I'm actually quite disappointed.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh.
They literally announced on their Facebook page last month.
Big band.
That they've still got some gigs to do, I think.
Yeah.
But they're calling it a day.
Yeah. No, what a shame. Great though.
It's very hard being a musician. You hear some pretty famous musicians saying they've got no money because they're just not making any money, and you think, wow, you're so famous, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm running out now because I've mentioned a couple. You said, "Oh, you're going to mention those," so I skipped over them. So I'm down to probably my album of the year now, which was by a band called Disillusion.
Oh yeah, I've got a story about that. Well, not about the new album, but carry on.
I got their album, and it's not fair to compare it to the Novaria one because they are different animals. But the Disillusion album, it's just so listenable. It's got the tiniest bit of death metal in it. It's proggy, it's metal, it's catchy. It's got all of these little things, and without any of them being the predominant. It's hard, they're hard edged, and you know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, that's for sure. And like I say, it is a bit. They are a bit proggy, so some of the songs do go on a bit and all of that sort of thing. But they're not. But they don't go. It's not like every song is long, or every song is death metal, or every song is this, that, or the other. They've got all these sort of elements going on, and it's very, very well done. You know, and I believe it's the first album they've done. It's called The Liberation, by the way. It's the first album they've done for 13 years, like Tool. Except this one's good, and the Tool one was average. Ha! There you go. That's my disappointment. It wasn't even on the channel. The new Tool album. Anyway. Tool album. Yeah, it's not. Anyway, we're not talking about Tool, but I might bring it back up again in a minute. Yes, the Disillusion album. I did not have a clue who they were when we played that song. And we played the song and I thought, oh, I really like this. I really need to hear more of this. Got the album. Love it. Absolutely love it. So there you go. Without me going on for too long.
Well, do you want my little anecdote then?
Yeah, go on then.
Turns out I reviewed it. Their first album.
Oh.
Or the last one.
Back in the reviewing days.
Yeah.
Right.
Which just stands to reason. So that was about 13 years ago.
Right.
And we used to mark it out of 13.
Yeah. For reasons that made sense at the time.
Yeah. And I only gave it a 7. I said it was really boring. So
I haven't heard the previous album, so I can't comment.
I still have all my CDs from that time because we got sent them by the record label. So I'll have to dig it out and I'll bring it next time I'm in Vikendi.
Yeah, I think we should go somewhere else. There's people keep shooting at us.
I'll dig it out. You can have it. So it'll be in a box somewhere, I think. Because I think I've moved house about 4 times since then. So it'll be in the bottom of a box, probably, or a coaster, maybe.
I got my first Powerwolf album being sent to me to review.
Remember that? He said, "Listen to this," and he was
like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah. Put it on. Oh my god!
But then again, it might be a thing.
And moustache.
I might dig it out and stick it on and go. Actually, you know what?
It's still boring.
I mean, I we all grow as people and our tastes change, and I'll listen to it and probably listen to it with more appreciative ears than.
But the thing is, 13 years later, that band have to have changed.
So it'll be interesting to see what it always sounds like. Yeah,
because I did think about going back and getting that one. I just haven't got around to it because stuff.
I'll dig that out.
Yeah, the new Disillusion album is just the one that I feel like I can't stop listening to.
My number 4, Dark Water.
Oh yeah,
the part 2.
Wow.
Got the album on the strength of that.
That was like a lightweight proggy.
It was. Yeah, it's got some great stuff on there. First half of the album is brilliant, but that song, it felt like
about suicide.
All the good bits of Camelot all rolled into one, and yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah,
I remember it.
That.
Absolutely.
I'll move up straight.
You just keep going because I've run out because I've mentioned some and you said, "Oh, we'll get to that." So I'm kind of.
Well, number 3 is Ninganisu's Heartless Scat. I'm surprised I didn't make your list.
Yeah, I didn't put Ninganisu on here, admittedly.
With it a bit of an easy choice, but
I think that might have been it. I think I just might have thought it's too obvious.
Yeah. But that was great song, good album too. And number 2 was Love Bites.
Right.
When Destiny's Alive,
which
we've already talked about. And my number 1 from the channel highlight is Jack the Joker.
Wow. I thought we were going to say something about One Arm Away.
No.
Okay, I've mixed it up in my head with Jack the Joker then.
Jack the Joker.
The Joker. That came out of nowhere.
It did. And I remember on the video saying, I wish I'd written, at least Richard had written that.
Oh, that yes.
I'm still jealous because I got the album that song was from, and I'm still jealous that they write stuff. I think I wish I could write stuff like this. And the singers they write simple melodies, but they are so effective with a really melodic delivery, but it's got quite a lot of gravitas there as well. I love his timber as well, I think.
It was one of those where you didn't get what... At first it was like, Jack the Joker, what kind of name is that for a band? And then the video started and I thought, oh, here we go. He's going to start going Rah! All over it. And completely got the opposite. It was just like, wow, this is so nice to listen to. This is so good. And then, which is why it's on my list. It was one of those... I love those great surprises when you kind of go, how good was that? Why have I never heard of these people before, sort of thing, you know? And that was definitely one of them.
And when I got the album, I stuck it on, and I think it's what we listened to is the very first song, and then the next one, I think, oh God, this is just as good. And the next one, this is just as good. You know, but they don't all sound the same.
Right, I'll have to get this now.
And it sort of reminds me of...
They were Brazilian, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Some cool stuff in coming out.
I don't particularly want to name drop Dream Theater, but it's like having Dream Theater with a Meshuggah rawer edge to it.
Wow!
Because it's more rhythmical, I would say, because they get bits that go din 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 din, you know, and done with the big fat production that they've got. It's wonderful. The whole album's a wonderful experience. They got a song that's about 24 minutes long.
That is prog. That's prog. 24 hours.
24 hours might even kill you off there. But 24 minutes of that sort of stuff. And some of the bass work as well, because there's a bit of slap bass in it. Where it just works because the way they incorporate into this heavy wall of guitars. And that singer's voice. I mean, there is a bit of growling in it as well, but the singer's voice as well just adds that sort of layer of melody over the whole thing. When you got some really quite heavy stuff going on that wouldn't be out of touch on out of place on a Meshuggah album. That thing.
You know what time it is, don't you? It's time for the low lights.
Can I go through my album of the year though?
Oh, we should probably do that first.
It was a fight between two. One of them, you sort of half had it on your channel, which was Diamond Head's The Coffin Train.
Oh yeah, it got
which you did it and it got blocked. But check that album out because it's brilliant.
No, don't.
But my album of the year isn't even from this year.
You can't do that.
Saw them live supporting Sacred Right, and I loved it so much that I bought the album. And the album, it's the only album I've listened to this year that when it finishes, I just loop it, start from the beginning again. And it's Curse of the Damned by Night Demon. What a blast from the past it is, even though it's only 3 years old or something like that.
Curse of the Damned by Night Demon.
Night Demon, yeah. It is retro 80s metal, and there's one song in there that sounds like it's just been taken off Def Leppard's first album, and I love it. I say Def Leppard and it's suddenly going ooh like that, but their first album
my toes just went on.
if you're not listening to the first Def Leppard album, it's just brilliant. So much energy there. It sounds completely different to how they do now. Different band. Yeah, check that out. Night Demon, fantastic. If you like some 80s retro stylings.
And I know there are people who watch this who do, because we see the comments on anything from that era, and they go, "Oh, I remember this from when I was." I think we attract an older YouTube audience.
Elements of really early Def Leppard, first two albums especially, first two albums of Iron Maiden as well. You can hear that in it, but there's so much energy. It's only three of them, and there's so much energy in in the songs.
Okay. Yeah.
Stinkers.
Stinkers might be strong. Just disappointments. I was going to go with. I'm going to have to call this video "Highlights and Lowlights 2019" or something, because I think we've done something like 17 and a half songs or something. So it's going to be a funny one.
I think if anyone's watched every video that we've done, it's probably going to come as no surprise. But I got 5.
That's 2 people out there then.
I've got 5 in no particular order. Evergrey, End of Silence. It was just, and I was hoping for so much more.
I think you said at the end, Evergrey. Yeah, that sums it up.
That sums it up, yeah. yeah. And every time I listen to them, I think I expect a little bit more, but they don't deliver. Not for me anyway. It's very disappointing.
Halfway through your list, I'll come back to Tool.
North Tail, higher, I think it's called.
North Tail, that was.
It's sort of up tempo, but not particularly fast. Power metal, swing your pants type stuff. It was just meh. It's the sort of thing it's been hearing for years, and there's no extra injection of melody or pace or grit or gravitas. It was just going. It felt like going through the motions. So another low light, and we sort of went to town on this one, which is Seventh Wonder and Alley Cat. Do you want to take this one?
I got a comment on that literally.
Did they hate us?
2 weeks ago or
Did
something.
All right.
Saying that we would, and I haven't gone back and checked whether we did or not, but I don't think we did. I don't think this is true. But the comment said something like, "You have completely ignored the fantastic musicianship." I'm paraphrasing here. And I doubt that's the case. I seem to remember saying they're playing all the right stuff.
Yeah.
It's good what they're playing. The song's just shit.
yeah. It was just lethargic, didn't it?
We turned it up to 1.25.
To the point where we put it up to 125, and it just came across.
And the song came to life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an example of the kind of sometimes we get comments because we don't like the thing they like. So instead of listening to what we said, people just decide to have a go at you.
Yeah.
And
we're obviously wrong.
Was a dreadful song.
Yeah. And it
Ooh, baby, let me be your alley cat. What?
I can't believe you remember that.
I can cope with songs about dragons and Norse gods and all of that. It's not the subject matter so much. It was just lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the fact that he's singing "Ooh baby, let me be your alley cat." Well, it kind of is. You shouldn't have "Ooh baby" in any song, unless you're in Led Zepp. But it just it was just like no. It was just no.
And sometimes something like that can ruin a song for someone. A bit like the cup of tea line in that Sabotage song.
Cup of tea.
Conversation piece, yeah. But great song. And then just goes, over a cup of tea, which was bad enough as it is, and then follows it up with a cup of tea. Oh no, it's just spoiled it, man. And it'd been recommended quite a lot. And
so they clearly got a fan base.
Yeah, a lot of a fan base that seems to love it, and I think my expectations were quite high when we went into it, because the singer was the guy from Camelot, isn't he? So I think, we're going to get something good here, and it was just lame. I think
it was lame.
Yeah,
but I think people who like soft rock might like it more than we did.
Yeah,
because soft rock is full of lyrics like "Ooh baby, let me be your alley cat."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But having said that, I do like some
Give me that thrash band from Indonesia any day, is all I say.
I do listen to soft rock. It's just not as bad as that. Anyway.
I listen to prog rock, which has lovely soft bits. I'll listen to the Church of the Cosmic Skull, but I can't listen to that kind of rock, the hair metal-y rock kind of thing. Just can't do it.
I've got two left.
Good. Shall I come in with Tool now then?
Yeah, go on.
The Tool album is a fantastic piece of musicianship. It is so well done. It sounds so good, and yet it is so uninteresting. And it is so much like Tool, which you think, well, yeah, it's Tool, but it's 13 years since the last one, and it's like they just re-recorded or remastered some songs that didn't make the last, that in fact not necessarily the last album, because the last album is so much better, but the one before that, I don't know how you say it, Lateralis, which is fantastic. But this just sounds so much like outtakes from those albums. It's just self-indulgent meandering. And there's one thing I can't stand. It's when a band decides to put a couple of minutes track in the middle of their album that is just a load of freaking noises that serves no purpose at all. I don't mind an intro that goes into a song. I do not like those 2-minute things where people just have 2 minutes of that, and then it stops, and then you get a different song.
Do you reckon they're getting paid by the song? Because that's what they used to do back in the 80s. They get paid for the song.
And the only reason I'm so is because it's Tool, a band I love, and they've let me down. They've let themselves down. And if they like to do things that no one expects, they should release another album next year or this year, 2020, with some songs on. Now, there'll be a lot of backlash here if anyone's watching this, because they have a rabid fan base that is completely loyal to them. I am a big Tool fan. I love Tool, and I think the new album is a genius piece of work on the one hand, but not very listenable on the other. The last album is full of hooks. You know, you listen to Vicarious, the first track of the last album. It's just such a good song without compromising what Tool is. And The Pot, it's just such a good song without compromising what Tool is.
I wouldn't say it was a genius piece of work then.
But this new one, well, what I'm saying is musicians, musically and everything, it's like, wow, this is really clever. How have these people created this thing? That's kind of where I'm coming from. But the sum is not great. the whole is not greater than the sum of its parts, kind of thing. Right. It's you can hear all of that they're really good and everything, just as good as they always have been. But what they've produced is meh at the end of the day. So that was I'd say that's probably my biggest disappointment of the year.
Bit like the last 3 or 4 Dream Theater albums.
Yeah, I haven't heard the new. I heard that the new Dream Theater album is good, but I haven't heard it because I'm so scarred by the Astonishing.
That's Astonishing.
I'm struggling to move on from that.
You could probably put a similar argument in, and you know how much work has probably gone into it by super talented musicians, but they've just produced something that's just, well, Astonishing was terrible.
Yeah, and that's the reason I didn't. I mean, we can't do Dream Theater anyway because all their stuff gets blocked. I don't know about Tool, but I didn't want to do the Tool one because I didn't want to sit here, play the song, and then whinge. I don't put things on that I know I don't like. What's the point of that? I don't put things on to bash them.
I mean, I do like Tool, and I really enjoyed them up to the point where they took 13 years off. But in that 13 years, I'd moved on to other things. The prog fan in me sort of had gone back down to the basement, I think. I still like prog, but not as much as yourself. But I'd moved on to the point where as soon as I heard Tool new album out, I was just going, great. And
it's also quite formulaic, considering all of the talent involved, because it literally goes crescendo, down, crescendo, down, crescendo. And their crescendos are great, but the way they do stuff just sounds the same. And I thought, and there just wasn't enough. There wasn't enough hooks, and it was not interesting enough, despite all of the good work that is in there, in my humble opinion.
It would have been, I think, it probably would have drawn me in if the new album sounded more like their first album, the Undertow album, which is shorter tracks that were really well put together and interesting with some really cool hooks. But from what I've heard, it does seem a lot of meandering for no reason at all.
Yeah,
that they could have done 6 months after releasing the last one.
And I know there's a lot of people who probably love it and are lying on the carpet with their headphones on.
You just don't get it, man. You're just not good enough.
Exactly, and that'll be their argument. Oh, you just didn't get it. Well, music isn't there to be got. Music is there to entertain you. If people have to get it, you're doing something wrong. If you have to be in the club to like it, you're doing something wrong. That's music at the end of the day is just entertainment, folks. It's not life and death.
It's not a competition either.
It's not a competition.
That means I'm better than you if I understand this album better.
Yeah, you always get the elitists, don't you, saying, "Oh well, yes, of course I understood it, and I can see where that reference belongs, and that's referencing such and such a thing from Greek mythology." I don't give a toss. Is it fun to listen to or not?
I get the Opeth fan base is a bit like that. Like the new direction. Like all these metalheads, they can't listen to anything but metal. But I think there's a reason for that.
I don't dislike the new Opeth stuff since they went off in their new direction. I don't dislike it. It's just not Opeth as the Opeth that I bought into. Yeah,
and the growling doesn't bother me for Opeth. The lack of growling. What I'd really like is to hear Opeth back with their metal production like they used to have, and clean singing. That'd do me. What scratches my itch.
So we need to let it go.
Is the
which I have, I think, and listen to bands that. We've had a few songs on this year, and we've said, you can, like Appearance of Nothing, which was on my list. We said, that's a bit Opeth, isn't it? And because Opeth in my head has become a genre, I think I've said it before. So I used to it's not like, that's a bit death metal. It's like, that's a bit Opeth because it's got that sound to it. So there's plenty of bands out there. If you're missing old Opeth, there's plenty of bands out there.
November's Doom is another one.
Filling in. November's
Green
Doom.
Carnation, maybe another one.
Anyway,
a bit like what I said about Isagrim filling my arch enemy void. Yeah, because they've moved on into a more commercial sound, even though it's it's still fairly brutal by music standards. And when I went to see him supporting at Monomarth, their set was primarily the Alyssa albums with a couple of other Angela Gosso albums. And they've just moved on to what they want to do, and I'm fine with that. Now I've found other things to scratches that itch.
We've said it before. Opeth, say for instance, don't owe us anything. If they want to go off and do something that makes them happy, good. I'm glad you're happy. It's not like no one else is playing death metal or or that kind of melodic death metal that Opeth did. It's out there. Just let it go and move on, sort of thing. So come on, let's have another disappointment.
Another disappointment. I hate to put this in, and they are touring in March, and I'm tempted to go and see them.
They will let you in now,
because I don't know, my £10 is as good as anyone else's. I guess so. Because I'm convinced that there is something there, and it might come across in the live environment with you turn the guitars up. And this is Visions of Atlantis, A Journey to Remember was the song.
You do surprise me that you're willing to go and see Visions of Atlantis.
But they've got Edenbridge supporting, or it might be the other way around. And I think it's not going to be expensive, and it's only up the road, so why not? Not got my tickets yet though, so we'll see. I just wanted, because I remember not really being a fan of Power Quest. I remember I saw them live. And they turn the guitars up, and it's all loud, it's in your face. It comes across so much better, and that's my hope for Visions of Atlantis, because that song, if you just took the guitars away, nothing much would change.
Did we say that at the time? This might sound better live. Because sometimes that happens. You hear something and you think, the production of this isn't doing any favours kind of thing. Yeah, because the guitars just almost mixed out. I don't remember it well enough to comment here. Because all the ingredients are there. And they've got some great symphonic elements, but that's all it is. The tropes have taken over. That's good. That's a good phrase. The tropes have taken over. Yeah. I wonder how boring this is to watch this video. Probably really boring. And I've got one more let down, unless you've got any. So we're coming to the end. No, I've had my Tool rant. Fine. This was a real letdown. I was actually disappointed with this one, and that's Labyrinth of the Abyss by Mary's Blood. And I think we both said similar things. It was just lacking
in every area. It's in the songwriting and production, I think.
So they had a lot of lineup changes, didn't they?
No, I think you're thinking of Brydea.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Which was also...
It was enjoyable, is it?
But it wasn't.
But Mary's Blood... No.
But we listened to the older stuff then, didn't we, afterwards, after we finished the video?
We did,
that was for Brydea.
Yeah.
And it was so much more metal.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
But
I've swerved you off then. Come back to Mary's Blood.
But Mary's Blood, knowing... It's one of those... A bit like the Cobra and the Lotus thing.
See, I thought they'd be on your list.
Mary's
Blood.
Almost.
Cobra and Lotus would have been on my list had I done a list of disappointments. Because they did 2 songs and neither of them were.
Yeah,
I didn't want to hear either of them again.
The new album is a bit of a mixed bag for Cobra and Lotus, but it suffers from the same thing that this Mary's Blood song did. Is when you know how good they can be.
Yeah.
Hearing something that's weak, lame, not very well put together, and I think, well, what's gone wrong here? Have they tried to do something different, or are they run out of ideas? Are they just going through the motions, or I don't know.
Now, the lady from Cobra and the Lotus, Cobra, she said, didn't she, that it's been tough for them as a band. It's just no money.
I don't think they get much money.
Struggle to make a living. Someone as famous as Cobra and the Lotus struggling to make a living. That's how crap the music business is. I mean,
the album's called Evolution, and there's 4 belters on there, and the rest of it, I don't know. I probably wouldn't put them on, and certainly not on the Prevail or High Priestess albums.
We'll come back to Mary's Blood. Because I'm always saying, comes on random on my iPod. Cobra and the Lotus. Song's name escapes me right now, but it was so good. Right, from one of their older albums, it was just so good. And that's what upsets you when you hear something that's it's very average, or even below average.
So it's called Evolution. So you just think, are they evolving the sound and are they progressing the sound? But when a lot of bands do this, like Megadeth when they tried Risk and these sort of things, that why is a progression more like a regression? If in terms of like stripping back all the musicianship, all the stuff that was made them stand out, they managed to get rid of all that and just come up with a 3-minute pop rock song.
That was awful. That was real rock radio stuff, that one. The name of which I've completely forgotten.
But
Mary's Blood.
But say even though Cobra's, since I've been coming to our disappointments of the year, it didn't make it was very close though. In context, the Cobra and the Lotus song, in context of the album, is not as bad as it was on its own.
I've got another disappointment of the year.
But that Mary's Blood one, I felt let down because I thought that they are so good at what they do, but they've just released this and made a video out of it. What are they doing? It just wasn't up. It wasn't up to the high standards that I hold them to. Not that they care.
There's a band I really, really, really like called Spires, that do prog death prog. Really go and find the album like The Whisperer by Spires. It's just so good, and they put out a new album this year, and it was boring, and they split up. It was like.
Did you write to them? So your album was boring.
I think I killed them off personally. No, it just, and I can't even put my finger on why it's boring, because it's the same. It's in exactly the same sort of mold as their other stuff.
Yeah.
Death prog. They have lots of like acoustic bits and as you can imagine, long meandering songs, and he's got this great voice because he sings clean. He has his death metal voice and he has his clean voice, and he sings clean. He's got a really nice voice. They're like a coming together of Pain of Salvation and Opeth. Like, just, I mean, how can you go wrong? Really, really good. Put out this new album. It's all in the same vein, but for some reason, they've lost the magical ingredient. Has disappeared, and I was so disappointed because I was so looking forward to it. And then they split up, which kind of says it all, really, doesn't it? I don't know whether... You don't know, perhaps the chemistry just wasn't there.
Yeah, well, you've just run out of ideas. I don't know.
I think Spires is like one man's vision, and he's not, you know, he put a post up saying, no, he hasn't stopped, he's carrying on, but the band has just... But not with Spires anymore. It's just gone, and yeah, I'm so disappointed. That's just, I don't know. In a way, I kind of felt that one personally. You know, when you just like you have your favorite thing, and it's like, this is mine, because not many people are aware of this. You know, they're not huge, super famous, right?
Yeah.
And then it dies badly. So
yeah.
So,
Totally
I wish them well. I hope he comes back and gets a new band together and gets his mojo back. But yeah, that new album, I pre-ordered it and everything. I was like, yes, new album, and it just wasn't there. It was a disappointment, which is exactly where we are. So there you go. There's a nice ending to this video. We've dragged you down into misery.
Well, the disappointment. I don't think I actually really disliked anything. It's just when it was a. They should be better than it is, I think.
But having said that, this year we've heard some fantastic stuff. We've had some really good surprises.
Yeah, you have to keep listening to new stuff, surely. Because like one disappointment, you think, this is really like Aspire's disappointment, and then Parents of Nothing comes along. Isagrim come along after the disappointment of Arch Enemy. Jack the Joker. Where did they come from? Fantastic. And that's why you need to keep listening to new stuff, in my opinion.
Yes. And without trying to put my English cynicism aside, which is not very easy because it's literally ingrained in us as a nation, and trying to be sincere about it. The best thing about just doing this is all of the comments and the people who interact and say, and kind of their enthusiasm for listen to this because I love this. You know, that's the metal community at work there, sort of thing. And 99.9% of the comments on our channel are constructive. And, you know, you might not always agree, but they're usually constructive. The 0.1%, I'm saving those, by the way. You don't necessarily see those, and one day I'm going to do a video
just going through
all of the ridiculous things that people say in comments to try and upset us. It doesn't work. I look at it. I'm only human, so I look at it and think, oh, that's not very nice. And then about 5 minutes later, I've forgotten. So you save your breath. But I'm keeping them, and one day I'm going to do a video just on that. So thank you very much from both of us for just interacting. And you know, I wouldn't find all of this stuff. How would I? You know, I wouldn't have found Jack the Joker. Somebody sent me a link and said, listen to this. You know, some band that's probably, or some band that's famous in Indonesia. How would we find it? We just wouldn't. Like the B-side one, that was just really good. I would never have found that. So yeah, there you go. I managed to hold it together and not come across all cynical or insincere then, which is quite a trick for me. So thanks very much, and into 2020, which has just started because it's New Year's Day.
This might be a long one.
I'm doing this. I'm going to upload this all in one piece, I think, and people can put it on or not, because it's just us rambling at the end of the day. They can play it in the background while they're cooking dinner.
You sure you want us two rambling on?
Who wouldn't?
The cooking.
They can be shouting at the screen saying, "No, you're talking nonsense. That Tool album's a masterpiece." Yeah. Okay. Have a great year. See you soon.
See you now.
Bye bye.